Hola, soy María, and this is an embodied Spanish class. Whether you are inclined to a beer or a glass of wine, having a drink and a small bite to eat before a meal is part of Spanish culture as much as eating paella on Sundays. Like our neighbors in France and Italy, we, the Spanish, are devoted believers in the aperitif or aperitivo. The practice of eating and drinking in advance and anticipation of a large meal is super important. For the Spaniards, the main meal of the day is lunch or la comida, and it is often larger than dinner or la cena. The goal of the aperitivo is to whet the appetite, abrir el apetito, because el aperitivo it's not the same as irse de tapas, although it has similar elements. When you eat many different small bites and fill your belly with tapas. This is not the same, but to have a drink and a small bite to encourage the secretion of gastric juices that will help you with the digestion of the meal later on. See, it's different. One is to fill you up, the other one is to prepare your stomach for eating the meal. Now, we can all agree that this practice, the aperitif or el aperitivo, is healthy, right? And el aperitivo is, it is a social ritual across the country, but it is also something of a science. The ancient Greek doctor Hippocrates found that bitter-tasting drinks stimulate the appetite. But the important thing is that the pleasure of the aperitivo lies in sharing it with friends. See, there is a reverence towards the meals in the Spanish tradition and also French and Italian, for example, where we share the same ritual. We honor midday meal. Well, in this case, in Spain, is midday meal, whereas in other countries, maybe dinner. But we honor the meal of this main meal of the day by preparing ourselves before with the aperitivo, and then by slowing down in the sobremesa and or a siesta after it. So you see, we have a whole ritual. We have aperitivo, we have the meal, and then we have a sobremesa or siesta to slow down and allow our body to digest in peace. As I mentioned at the beginning, the vermouth is it's been traditionally one of the main drinks. And in fact, nowadays, having a vermouth is coming back to fashion after years of wine and beer. Vermouth is sexy again, and tomar el vermouth, and you will note the spelling here, vermouth has evolved into having this spelling, and it is completely accepted by the Real Academia Española. So tomar el vermú is another way of referring to tomar el aperitivo, as the traditional drink would have always been the vermú. And even if you're having wine, you would still say, tomamos el vermú? So vermouth is a combination of white wine, absinthe, which is ajenjo, and other herbs and fruits. It's been the quintessential drink to have before a meal, so much so that the word vermouth or vermou is used to refer to the social event of having a drink and a bite to whet the appetite. Other options, of course, I remember my mom, who would never drink alcohol, she would always have a bitter, or the bitter gas, as you would know, which is a fizzy drink from Spain. It's a red fizzy drink, which is bitter, hence the name. And there is also a widely extended selection of wines and beers, or espumosos, which are sparkling wines. What could be better than a rubia and a plate of olives to make your juices flow. And by a rubia, I mean a beer, a blonde beer. Things that the waiter can put in front of us or can bring us. Poner, to put, or bring, traer. Those are the poner and traer are the most commonly used verbs to order in a bar. Ponme una cerveza. Tráeme una caña. O me pone una cerveza, me trae una caña. Poner, to put in front of you, or to put in front of me. Traer, to bring. Yeah? So what can we order? We can order una rubia y unas aceitunitas, blonde beer and some olives, small olives. Una cañita comes from una caña, so a draft beer. Un chato de vino, like a small glass of wine. Things that we can eat in this context. Pickles, which are encurtidos, such as aceitunas, cebolletas, pepinillos, anchoas en vinagre o boquerones en vinagre, aceitunas, olives, cebolletas, pickled onions, pepinillos, pickled gherkins, anchoas o boquerones en vinagre, so anchovies. Also, we can add a variety of banderillas, which are skewered appetizers, such as the long-standing capataz o pincho de bonito. El pincho de bonito is a tuna thing, tuna bite. You can also have patatas bravas or a plate of cheese. Pinchos, as I said, pinchos and banderillas are the same thing. So is your mouth watering much already? If yes, that's the whole point. Now, gracias for watching, and please share in the comments if you have any ideas, or for you, what you like for the aperitif, or if you've been in Spain or other countries, what have you had for the aperitivo. Hasta luego!